All right, good afternoon. The time is now 1:03 p.m. And I will reconvene this meeting of the Custer County Board of Commissioners. And our next item under new business is the consideration of the 2023 Board of County Commissioners meeting calendar. And we do have a suggested draft in our packets.
All right, for discussion, I move we accept this as presented.
And you're talking about which
Meeting
holiday
schedule,
The
calendar?
BOCC meeting calendar.
Calendar.
Item H, according to the boss over there.
I do have, you made a motion to accept it as presented.
Yeah, so
Uh,
need a
I
second to
changed
discuss
it Tuesday. You
so
didn't have
that
to change
that would be,
the Tuesday on the
the 10th.
10th, right?
so that is still not changed on mine here, but
It
Should
is.
be.
okay.
Well, is it Tuesday to the 10th?
Tuesday is the
Is-
10th.
Yep.
I had inadvertently typed in Wednesday.
And I will second that motion and we'll go to discussion because that was what I was gonna bring up. For some reason, mine is still showing. I guess I can refresh and see if it changes it.
Well, it depends upon which one you're looking at.
The
If
one
you
from
look
my
at the one from
documents.
that, in the folder that says editable. That's the one that I made the correction on, so then if there were other changes, I could correct it in real time. And
Okay.
then,
I was going off the one that was in the packet itself.
That was the only thing that was proposed on it. So to speak.
So that one there was a Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh,
Well, a comment or two, sir, if I may.
yes, we are open for that.
Thank you. So I want to thank Kelly for her assistance in helping put this thing together. A couple of things of note. February 8th is our, by statute, the date that we have historically used to go visit the jail. We have to do that once a year. I spoke with Braden about what we used to call the staff reports. He now calls those crew meetings. He is going to continue to have those monthly, but they didn't really apply to our meeting schedule with the exception of the 4 quarterly crew meetings with a commissioner being invited to those. And so I went through and he selected those dates. It's the last Thursday. I mean, it's the afternoon of. You can see the dates there.
5 o'clock.
I have to go through them, but, and then when we get down to June, obviously you see CCI, the inclusive dates there, so we're not having a mid-month meeting. And, didn't. Let me see, did we have to roll the June ones back a week to make room for that? I can't remember. Let me look. No, so those were standard dates in June. Mid-month meeting in June, I put June 14th, no mid-month meeting, so. That would have been the day we met on there. And then. August the 2nd, Kelly had indicated that JD requested a separate and distinct meeting for Board of Equalization. So we will not handle that as a recess. Well, we could still recess, I guess. But we wouldn't handle that as part of the internal BOCC.
Right.
It'd probably, in my opinion, it'd be cleaner to just have our BOCC meeting, adjourn that meeting and then
going to
start.
Yeah, right.
To the Board of Equalization, not do a recess, just finish our regular work. The Wetmore Community Center meeting dates and Silver West Airport date are noted, no big change there. And then the winter conference, November 27th through the 29th. So we'll be back in time for that November the 30th meeting.
Okay.
The November one's not right though.
Okay. On the dates,
Yeah, because we gotta do Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so the date's right.
the days,
It's just
Eight.
Wednesday, Thursday instead of Tuesday, Wednesday.
okay, the 8th of November is a
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
yeah.
yes.
And the reason we're doing that is because election day.
We talked about that, I never got it corrected,
Yeah.
Kelly, sorry.
I've got it corrected in real time.
So November 8th is Wednesday,
Yes,
and then November 9th is Thursday.
yes.
I have a question for you gentlemen, on February 8th, your jail tour, because this is something new for me. Will you still have your normal monthly reports and then go to the jail? Or are you going to want a combined meeting on Tuesday?
No, we go over after our meeting.
Yeah, or at lunchtime or something.
Perfect, just double checking.
Good question. You guys see any other mistakes or oversights?
See, now that there's a bar in San Isabel, maybe we gotta consider that.
Not the bar so much.
Yeah.
I like the food.
Yeah, the food was good.
And I'd always say to send the bill to the county.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess we can have that conversation.
Could start another time.
The
now.
thing I struggle with,
Nobody showed up.
nobody,
except
did.
us.
So what was really the point other than the,
The Wetmore people would drive.
Actually, Wetmore would attend that meeting as well as Wetmore.
Not very many of them. The last
Yeah.
meeting we had, there wasn't nobody.
I would say I never saw more than 2 or 3 people. Jackie Bubas, who knew, passed away.
She did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
did.
died of cancer.
Couple
Right.
about a week ago.
But
They were living in Florida, right? Is that
Yeah.
what
if
they-
you took her out of the mix, typically, we just didn't have anybody up there, you know. That's why we quit going. I guess we could entertain the idea of going back, but
Is
I don't
Mr.
know that
McMahon
I'd
the new
support it.
reporter for the Sentinel, or he was taking notes like he was,
who was?
Mr. McMahon?
Oh,
And by the way, I talked to Kevin, I thought Mr. McMahon was becoming a fourth commissioner as far as discussing that kind of.
Discussing too much.
Well, and I just told Kevin that as far as the audience here, the appropriate time is after there's a motion that's on the floor, you know, after you made the motion second, discussed it, but before you vote, you can ask for public comment.
and I
That's,
thought
He got
you did
involved.
fairly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it begs the question of how many opportunities should the same person have to have public input? It becomes a running dialogue after a while.
Oh, it
if you're
did.
not careful.
you
So
know,
anyway,
if this was just a one-time thing, I guess it wouldn't be a problem, but
Yeah.
it's looking like you.
But I think he's caught me 2 or 3 times, so it's not a one-time thing. I told him to feel free to slap my hand anytime he wants to.
so I would move we adopt the 2023 BOCC meeting schedule.
That's
I
already.
already
We have a
moved.
motion
Oh, we
on
did?
that.
I already moved
Oh, you
and he
did?
seconded and all we did was fix it.
Okay,
And
I was
so-
busy fixing that. I wouldn't.
So as,
Sorry.
so as amended rather than as presented, I guess is the motion.
That's right.
Okay. So I do have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion here?
Who owns the or the official copy?
Very possessive.
You'll
She
share
has
that?
to because she is the,
The official
she's
record.
the official record
You'll
keeper.
share that with us?
I will share that.
Okay. And I am now logged off of Zoom, I guess.
Let me look.
Anybody got their hand up?
Well, since we only have 2 people on,
They're probably all
this
in.
morning, no, we do not have a hand up.
Okay. I'm not seeing any further discussion in the room. Those in favor of adopting the BOCC meeting schedule as amended, signify by saying aye.
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 I, with a polite request, can we add to this thing, Kelly, the date it was adopted?
At the bottom.
That would be prudent on a lot of things.
Yes, it would.
Yes.
Like the holiday schedule coming up.
So next is our holiday schedule, the 2023 county holiday schedule. And we have a draft copy of that as well. The draft that we are looking at is for the people with a 4-day week. And I would say probably those offices such as public health and those that are on a 5-day schedule. That would include one more day,
Yes.
correct?
Can I add color to that? So,
Yes, let me finish
Okay.
mine and then you can go. I was thinking that that might be put on the day after Thanksgiving. There to, as has been done in the past. Now you may comment.
I think that day should be added on the day after Thanksgiving, as it's been done in the past. Yeah, Kelly and I talked this morning about that, and Jennifer and I worked on this yesterday a little bit. And I, on my computer, on my document, I do have a title, as
Still on
Custer County Building Holiday Schedule, because I recognize that it's not countywide. And so then this morning, Kelly and I talked, maybe we just add another column to the right-hand side and spell out the 5-day a week employees holidays, and title this one the 4-day week employee holidays, and then add that day after Thanksgiving, Friday after Thanksgiving. I'm not sure what document.
Another
About it.
column, or we could actually add it just below.
And
We could add it right here and just say, and then in
That was
parentheses,
my thought.
5-day week.
Yeah,
Yes.
Just a thought, do you do that? When the landfill runs a different 5-day work week?
They would adjust their schedule accordingly because they also are off on Monday and work on Saturday, so they don't fall into any of our cookie cutter patterns. But they would have the 12 holidays being there working a 5-day week.
yeah. And to that end, Jennifer did send out an email to each entity and ask them for their suggested days and hours of operation and their holidays. Haven't gotten all that back, but
Could call it Custer County office building.
County building.
Yeah, the county building as opposed to the building. It's the county, it's the departments actually that are. in the-
yeah, and Kelly and I did talk about just adding that extra line in there. I'm not gonna quibble over it. I thought it's not, a lot of the public probably not gonna see this document, even though it'd be on the website. I just thought if we had a whole nother column, it would clearly identify that we have 2 holiday schedules, but I'm not gonna quibble over that, no big deal. But at the very least, I think we have to add that.
Yeah, because technically this list here would also now be inclusive of road and bridge and things of that nature that are on a 4-day.
Right.
So technically
Well, no,
Custer County building isn't quite accurate. We could just,
Right,
we
we
could
have to
say-
change that,
we
exactly.
could say Custer County holiday schedule and have a 4-day
Right,
and a 5-day, not
or
necessarily.
an extra, either one,
Yeah.
I'm good with either one, Kevin, but yeah, I was just saying, I've got a title building, but if we had that, that needs to go away. I didn't know what yours was titled at, so. We could do Custer County holiday schedule for 4-day week and 5-day week employees,
Employee.
and then it would be a little more self-explanatory, but.
Yeah, and then we can either do a column or an extra line designating the extra holiday for the 5-day week.
Yeah.
It's all just how it looks. It doesn't really make any difference. We're okaying the same
Right.
schedules.
So who reads this schedule?
Yeah.
Public or
Well-
just us?
The public has the
So-
ability to read it.
Yeah.
So if the public is reading it, they're not gonna understand if the building's open or closed. It's the offices, 4-day, they don't know what 4-day schedules we're on, 5 days.
Well, when they look at that date, they'll know that
Yeah.
we're closed on that date.
So that date ought to mean something officially to them that in this building or anywhere. So that would be our,
And we've done this in the past, but I forgot why we did it by statute. This has to be done by resolution. And so I don't know what Road and Bridge's holiday schedule is. Does it follow this 4-day line to line?
To me, it would be the same,
Okay.
because we're both on 4 days.
I just didn't know. We're both on 4-day weeks, but I didn't know if they did some different holiday. If we adopt this, then they don't have any choice. These are the holidays.
Yes, I think in the past they have, because they were already on a 4-day work
Right.
week. If we had a Friday off, they would arbitrarily move it, say, to a Friday or a Thursday.
Right.
And, they would adjust their schedule, keeping the same amount of holidays.
And that goes away now. They'll follow
They
this.
will follow
Yeah.
this.
So I guess I brought that whole by statute thing up is it a moot point that we asked everybody for their input now? But the statute says that we have to include in that resolution the days and hours of operation and the holidays. So I'm wondering if we shouldn't wait until we get that so we can put all those in that resolution and vote on it at once.
Well, maybe I'll make some adjustments to last year's, and then I'll send it out to you guys to see
The
if that
resolution.
works for you. And then we can make some adjustments and then maybe do that on the 15th.
Yeah.
I have it already on the agenda. Consideration of county offices, and I put not housed in county building, hours of operation and holiday schedule for 2023. But I could just make it for all county offices.
Yeah, we could just postpone this and do it all at once instead of having to do two resolutions.
we don't need to.
What are you thinking, Phil? What?
You talk
Too late?
sign language.
Oh, you're not talking, I thought you were looking at the calendar, I'm sorry.
No, she's being,
Oh, okay.
she's
We
being
doing sign language. Hire an
Calendar.
instrument out there.
Yeah, I'm good with postponing it until we get.
We got this one ironed out,
hours,
get them
days,
all on the
and
right
weeks.
form.
Well, and now you all have a chance to review these dates and make sure that you're all good with that.
So,
before you get it.
I like all the dates that we have here, and then on the 5-day, adding one after Thanksgiving, we just need the hours of operation and all that included, I think, so. I wouldn't be opposed to voting on it on the mid-month,
Let's do it.
so.
Move on.
So on the Thursday, the 20, or Friday.
November 24th.
November
We'll move the pizza.
24, yeah. So we just do like parentheses, 5-day,
5-day schedule or something like that. 5-day work week.
right, 5-day. work week.
Well, and
So,
I think the resolution will really, that'll go out to all the
Right.
offices, but the resolution will really.
that's just us. Yeah, if the average Joe looked at this and said, well, wait a minute, so you're saying that the 5-day a week get 12 holidays and the 4-day a week get 11? Yep, that's exactly what we're
That's exactly right. But the 4-day work week gets 10-hour
Right.
days off rather than.
Same hours. Works out.
Pretty much a wash.
Yeah, well, exactly. Close enough.
Like a couple hours.
First government work, right? That have the same,
So,
yeah. I don't think the last resolution had hours and days.
No, I didn't. I've never seen the
I
hours and
know,
days
I
on
haven't
it.
either. We missed that statutory, so.
Well, they didn't catch us. You wanna risk it again? What are they gonna do?
Well, and and
We're trying to
Really,
get
we-
right with stuff.
Yeah. we really should post those because.
They need to
I'm a
know
little
we're open.
confused about what hours some of our departments are open and when they're closed. I had to go ask Virginia. What the hours of her office was. I didn't really know that. And who was doing what. And so I think it's probably good that we do get that on in a document and get it posted for the county.
Well, and just as a question. Just because, do you have a need, especially with the courts still being in operation on Fridays? Do you need to have a schedule for the county building versus the different departments? Just
No,
asking.
it's just the court. And then they can come in this way if they got it open. The only place they can go.
I was just asking if that would be part of your consideration without this.
Good job.
Okay, so we will take this up with full resolution on the mid-month, December mid-month meeting. So if you could make set adjustments, please, ma'am. Okay. Next item would be the consideration of the Marengo vacation and replat. So Dorothy, you are up.
I'm not gonna shake hands because
She's got cold.
Okay.
it's up to, I don't have, I tested.
What are
this
you doing
morning,
with the
I'm
mask?
negative.
Are you just protecting us from the cold?
Probably
Just
why
trying to-
didn't feel
I
good.
was exposed on Thanksgiving, so
Oh,
I'm just being extra cautious for
Our
you
kids
guys.
came over from Newcastle with pink eye, but we didn't get it.
Okay,
thanks for the warning.
this is a simple vacation and replat. Antelope Valley, actually, from what the court documents that I have, or letter from the lawyer that I have. Antelope Valley placed a fence on Wilmer, Marengo, Serrano, and Shauna Marengo's property. And so they did a land swap. So it's a vacation and a replat. And with all of the legal matters, I wanted to make sure that we had everything, all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. It's a simple exchange of property.
Where'd that
Point
order?
out what's being what.
Wilmer,
Yeah,
Wilmer. Wilmer, just at Marengo, Marengo.
Okay. So it's lot 206 in Antelope Valley subdivision filing 5. That they are actually taking this portion of land and giving it to the Marangos due to the fact that they had the fence that was going along their property. Brings them right back to 6.6 acres.
We're giving which portion of that to them, the stuff that we on the. They got whole thing. Is it this that they're giving up, swapping, or the whole?
Yeah, this is gonna be removed and this is gonna be, maybe saying that backwards.
I read it, but I didn't really.
So they're taking this portion away.
Mangroves would give the northern portion of their property, so that'd be that up there.
And the
They're
eastern
adding- they're
section
giving
is,
them the-
is what's going to the
Even-
subdivision.
Equal sized portion to the east from Antelope.
Yeah, so
we-
this they're
okay, so
getting,
given
and
that,
this is being vacated.
And the owners of the north property.
Is Antelope Valley subdivision.
It's a
Oh, the whole
common
thing.
space.
Mhm,
This, this is just the final plat. This is the picture.
yes,
As after the action takes place.
yes.
I move what do we want to do? What are we accepting?
Just the vacation and replat of lot 206 Antelope Valley filing 5.
Okay, so I move that we accept the request for vacation of lot 206 property lines and replat of lot 206 Antelope Valley subdivision filing by.
Be known here moving forward, 206A.
206A, correct.
Second,
Okay, so I do have a motion on the floor to accept the vacation and replat for lot 206 in Antelope Valley. Belonging to Wilmer Marengo Serrano and Shauna C. Marengo. As presented. Any further discussion?
yes. Home sites, are there existing structures on the
Marangos has a house on it.
Yeah, there is a dwelling on that property, yes. Septic, stuff whole shebang.
No issues with the property line and setbacks and all that.
No,
Pretty straightforward.
Anything else, gentlemen? Anything from anyone in the room?
Oh, I think so.
Um,
No questions.
Okay, those in favor of accepting the vacation and replat of lot 205 to be known as 205A.
206.
Excuse me, 206A. So lot
206.
206 to be known as 206A,
Mhm.
signify in Antelope Valley. Please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. Not every day you get to sign one, dude. It's a big deal.
It's a very narrow one.
Oh, it is, okay. It looks like.
It's
The pin.
about pin,
Pretty.
narrow.
Looks like it should be that.
Whatever you do, don't run your hand over the top.
It will be dry.
Right. You'll go down in infamy as the
I need a
smear,
blotter.
maybe a waxed seal.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank
Don't forget
you.
your pen.
That could be a transmitter.
Rest of your meeting.
Probably.
No, I'm gonna breathe out of that machine.
Okay. Thank you, Dorothy.
Yeah, kiddo.
Okay, next item up would be the consideration of MOU between Custer County Kids Council and Custer County School District.
And Stacy Terrell is watching, so you know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I will get switched
After
over.
reviewing said document, sir,
Mhm.
I would move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between the Custer County School District and Custer County on behalf of Custer County Kids Council.
I would second that. Any discussion, gentlemen?
May I ask a question, Miss Stacy?
You may ask a question, yes.
Stacy, are you on?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. This is Tom. I have a question for you. I see on page, well, they're not numbered. So on the first page, the contract was entered into the first day of October 2022. And then on the second page, there's a signature page. What are we gonna do about those two different dates? The date being November the 30th.
The date for October 1st is just the date that we got from the state for the LCO contract. So that those don't necessarily have to match, but that October 1 had to be put in there because that was the date that the LCO contract started with the state, if that makes sense.
So you're okay with us dating this today?
Yes, sir.
If we get lucky and vote to approve it.
And just for reference for you guys, this is very similar to the MOU that you guys all signed as the Board of Health between the Custer County School District and the Custer County Board of Health for Patrick with the substance abuse grant. It's almost very similar.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming that from a high level, this is us agreeing to continue to be the fiscal agent. Or is that included in the, there's not really language in it, but.
Yeah, it's, I guess in a way, yes, that is true. Basically, this is, so the school district's name is on the contract with the state for the LCO. However, they recognize us as co-partners for the LCO. They just could not put two entities on that contract. So basically what happens is the school will be responsible.
Did we lose you?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
There we are.
Okay. So I don't know where I got cut off. Basically, there could not be two names on the state document. So the Custer County School District's name is on the state document. This is basically the agreement that we're co-partners for the LCO. So the school district is responsible for billing the state for reimbursement. The county pays me for my role in this, and then the school reimburses the county. And I manage the invoice that goes to the school, and then making sure that Virginia is aware of when the school reimburses the county on my work related to this LCO work.
So I think we have a little clerical error, or I don't understand something, one of the two. Number 5 on the second page. Do you happen to have that with you, Stacey?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Says Custer County School District will in turn reimburse Custer County Public from the funds received from the Department of Early Childhood. I don't know what Custer County Public really means. Is that?
That's probably a typo.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, what page?
Page 2, number 5.
Custer County will be, yes, it should be Custer County. It should just say the Custer County. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
So we need to strike public from that.
Yes, sir.
Can we just strike through that with a pen and be
Yes,
okay, and not have to retype this whole thing?
Yes, sir. That would be great, considering Jackie Crabtree has signed it on behalf of the school.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Surprised our attorney didn't catch that.
I'm busy looking at, we're gonna have an executive session on it.
All right.
All right, you did a pass.
Okay.
So I do have a motion to accept the MOU between Custer County School District and Custer County on behalf of the Custer County Kids Council. And with the striking out of the word public on item number 5. Any other discussion?
No, sir.
For those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
There'll be a quiz later on what UTK means.
Okay. You want initials on this strikeout, Kelly?
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. You're quite the signer today, huh?
I did not date that. Okay, so next item would be the consideration of the process to handle propane bids for 2023. I believe this is probably coming from your desk.
It is. So I went ahead this week and published for trash as well as for the committees. So then we can get those letters of interest and get those things handled. In doing so, I started looking at propane and found that back when Donna did the request, that the dates were scheduled from September to May. And then when Tina sent out a request, she sent it out this time last year with the same date, September to May. So that was backdated to September of 2021 through May of 2022. What that means is that right now we do not have a contract exactly for propane. It has been with Nora. I called and asked. She said that they just transferred that same price. And that if in the event they had to do any rate changes, that they would give us at least a 30-day notice so I could bring it to you. All of that being said, in trying to get things cleaned up, wanted to know what cycle you want the bidding process to be for propane. Typically, people put it out in requests for summer buys. You know, so then you get the bid during the lowest cost for the propane providers. So then in hopes that in the winter we can keep that price. But since we don't have anything, do you want to start doing it in a calendar year, January to January to December?
What was the previous cycle?
September to May.
And they give you the deal for the year if you sign up early. Because
Yeah,
they get a pre-buy on.
Yeah,
But
but
we don't technically fall under that because we're asking for a bid. But it could
Right.
be, it could be the same price as their pre-buy.
so the big question is, how do you want to handle propane? Do you want to handle that from a January to December? Do you want to go back to continue with a September to May? And then June, July, August, not be part of that bid?
I think personally that it makes sense to leave it on the pre-buy time. And the reason is that's when they get that price is based on last year's buy and they can buy it cheap because that's the price of it then. If we wait to do it on the mid time frame, they're stuck with whatever the price is. And we'd be paying more.
And the only challenge that I want to make sure that you all know is that if in the event, since we do not have a current contract right now, that if prices change, then we will be given a notice,
Sure.
just so then you're aware. Okay,
Has anybody ever noticed if
I went
what
back,
the bid is matches the pre-buy?
I did, I went through and double checked. And it's, so the last 2 years, it's been at the same price. There has been no change. But. in
It's gonna change
trying-
this year because of this. cost now.
Well, and
Next
what
year, I
she
should
said
say.
is that the reason that she didn't bring it up. At the end, in May, whenever, because she usually gets a notice to bid it. And it never went out. And so, and two, that propane prices have gone down, so they can still honor the price that they quoted us last year. So with that information, I'm just looking for guidance from you.
You just change your propane thing to. Instead of doing it in December, do it in,
Except, do it in
August.
August.
We would have to make sure we caught that because
remember.
that's out of the normal
Oh, you got the
cycle.
calendar queen back here.
Yeah, she is the,
I think I would make the
Coordinator.
bid go for a full 12-month period, though, not chopping
Thank
it
you.
in
maybe
May.
go from 12, they go, that's right, they go August to August.
Why it's September to May is just beyond comprehension, because then
Because they don't deliver.
Lord knows what they could charge us from June to September. They can charge us
Well,
whatever they
I'll
want.
tell you what they do in the civilian world. They don't deliver in the summer because nobody's using.
Not
the
unless
propane.
you ask for. it
Unless you
during the
ask for
summer.
it during the summer, they do not deliver. They will charge you rental if you're renting a tank.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's. I think my answer to your question would be, that is the time frame on their pre-buy, because they don't do a pre-buy for 12 months. They do a pre-buy through May. And so so we actually were falling exactly under that pre-buy policy.
Yeah, but we went 3 months without a contract,
Yes, we did.
which is not good. in my opinion. So,
So I
You
would,
have a written contract on that, or is it?
It
we
was,
just
Well,
accept
we-
their bid?
we got those sealed bids and opened them and
Okay.
accepted one, so.
It's bids, is what they do.
And then that would be my next question, is I agree, we can do September 1 to August 31st or whatever. I think it needs to be 12 months.
It can say it, they're not gonna deliver anyway.
Are we going to request sealed bids? From any propane company that wants to submit them?
Why not?
I think we should, I'm just asking.
But
How
that's what
many
you do.
different ones do we have?
We got 3 up here right now, locally,
Looks
and
like
2
there's
others
4,
that
I think.
deliver here. So
Put the word out.
that would be my opinion, that we seek a sealed bid from interested companies and.
do we want to make it from continue to September to the August, in which case then we need to have put out for bids again
Sure.
in
July or June, late June or July.
Yep.
Because, let's see, we're not under contract right
Correct.
now. They could charge us whatever they want.
but
But they're not delivering. I mean,
Well, I'm not sure that's an
No,
accurate statement
we're
from
still
county.
it is.
sorry,
right now we are, yeah, we're getting propane right now
Now?
without a contract.
Right.
And we're not. under
Oh,
contract.
because of the way it was.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
so
Right.
I would move that we go to a 12-month contract starting September 1 of each year and put it out for a sealed bid with the appropriate date of the due date for those bids.
I'll say it, is that a formal motion?
Yeah, that was my motion.
So I have a motion on the floor to change our process to going to a 12-year contract for propane.
Month.
Well,
12-year
it's
contract
12
is
years.
illegal.
12-month.
We can do 12 years, but
Okay,
yeah,
12-month contract for propane running from September 1 to August 31 and resubmitting for bids in an appropriate time. So I would say, I guess it would be June, middle of June.
yeah,
and I'd have it on the mid-month
Um,
July.
I'll
meeting.
second that. And then I have a question for you about your motion.
Well, no, you had the motion. I'm trying to restate the motion.
All right, gotcha.
I changed some of the wording of that because of that. So the actual motion was to go to a 12-month,
Right.
12-month contract, September 1 to August 31. And resubmitting for bids in a timely manner, I believe is what
Yeah.
your motion was.
So my question would be for this year, since obviously we've already missed the September one. Can we seek bids now? To finish out this year and go through September or August 31st of next year? For this year to get us back on a calendar schedule.
I don't think so. Because they've already made, however it got screwed up, they've already committed to it.
I don't think so, because our
do they
contract
do it?
ended in September,
Yeah, but that's been 3
or
months
ended
ago.
in May, sorry.
Right,
When I
That's what
spoke,
they're saying, is there, we're not under
yeah,
contract.
I know we're not under contract now, but they kept delivering.
correct. So when I spoke with the provider, they said they're going to continue to honor the price that we were quoted and have been given for the bid from last year. And I asked them specifically, if in the event there is a potential change to that price, can we have at least a 30-day notice? So then that way you all can then be able to have some time to do something about it if the price changes,
If we're not under contract.
if we're not under contract.
So my suggestion is maybe we get under contract by
You could
doing
just
this
say,
now.
here, from
and
here to
not
here,
wait.
this is what you're doing, and you've already agreed to do it. Get them under contract. Sign a piece of paper.
That would probably be a separate motion then, correct?
Yeah, or a substitute motion, because I personally think we should try to get a propane company under contract now to carry us through the
I
end of
agree.
May, or July,
August.
August, if we're gonna start on the September one in 2023.
So let's keep it separate. If you see it simpler, we just made a motion to get onto a calendar thing, that's easy, we don't have to compete it, we don't have to have a new motion to get it in place, and then we go and get well with this contract. Just ask them
Well,
to
we
get
don't
under,
have a contract.
that's what I
There is
mean,
no
get
contract.
well with, we need a contract.
Right, I
Let me
agree.
rephrase.
I think we can handle them in separate motions.
Yeah,
here.
I do too.
It'd be clean.
It's a cleaner way to do it.
So the motion on the floor is to go to a 12-month calendar contract for propane, September 1 to August 31. Any other discussion on that? Anything in the room?
Sorry.
Sorry, I never got logged in.
I'm daydreaming.
There's no one online.
Okay, so those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. I would move that we submit for bids to supply propane for Custer County from I guess it would be January 1 is what all of our other bids are, from January 1 to through August 31 of 2023 to take us to our next contract date.
I thought we said we wanted to clean up the fact that they started one and we wanted to hold them to what they've got already, which is a low price from last year.
Well, I'll second your motion. We'd have nothing right now,
I know, we gotta get them on, we gotta get an agreement,
and that's what this motion would do.
except it competes it with everybody else.
Well, yeah, we don't have a company.
Well, right now we do, because they agreed to do it. All I'm saying, we have an opportunity. We can either do one or two
Right.
things. We can compete it.
Yep.
Or we can just get an agreement that says continue the price like you got it, period. Which was a competed price that was low because the price of fuel was low then. If we compete it now, we're gonna end up paying more. Because the price of propane is higher.
Personally, I'm paying way under $1.85. Believe it or not.
But I don't know
From a
what's the
company
price.
in this
for-
county.
That's
I
what
know,
we're
I know
paying.
you are.
So maybe.
that's what
your
we're paying.
statement may be
That-
correct.
but that's what
but
we're paying
it
now.
may not.
That's
We
what-
might get a price less than that.
Maybe,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
don't know, maybe.
And the only way we knew is if we put it out for bid. I would support putting it out for bid, but I understand what you're saying. If we're satisfied with the $1.85, is that what it
We'll
was?
argue over a nickel or something, or.
But then again,
I don't care. Doesn't matter.
I would have no qualms personally of going either route. I just thought this would be a clean way to do it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think putting out stuff out for bids is fiscally responsible,
Okay, call the question.
because
Let's
we
go.
don't know.
I agree.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is to submit for bids, put out for bids for propane for Custer County from January 1 through August 31 of 2023, taking us to our next contract submittal.
When we gonna get bids in, Brian? Go ahead.
Between now and the end of the year, I'm assuming.
We're gonna wait for a month before we get a new contract, or do you wanna do it in 2 weeks? All right,
Well,
Well, let's
if
look
the
at-
motion passes, we could put the due date anytime to be able to make a decision by January 1, right?
We would make the decision before January 1 with the contract commencing on January 1.
because we've already got the delivery in December, you know, and everything. We're just gonna live with December like it is, that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta, if we're gonna bid it, we gotta give them an opportunity to bid it.
That's right.
That's what.
So we
that's why I
wanna
went
see
to
bids in
January.
by, what day?
I'd say if we have a mid-December, then we can make a decision
That's what I'm asking.
at the end of December and have him under contract.
Yeah. Look at the end of the week,
So
the
that's-
third week, what date's that?
We are looking at 2 weeks of publication right here.
But too late for this
So is
one.
that
I-
the December
Yeah.
calendar you got up there?
So we're looking at these 2 dates for our publication.
Yeah, that would be
So
it.
if I could get them back on the 21st
There you go.
or the 27th.
Make it the 21st.
21st sealed bid, I mean, it's a sealed bid, so it doesn't, I mean, we could get it on the 27th and then open them on the 29th, right?
Either way.
So if that's acceptable to you, then I'll get it sent over and published.
To be open, just pick a day. When we're gonna open them on the third.
Yeah, it's, to me, administratively.
Doesn't matter how
Whatever
many.
works for us,
That's right.
to be able to operate on the 29th. And since you've not done this, you would normally house those bids and then give them to Clint. We never see those.
And I don't open them in.
No,
nobody
I bring a sharp knife and open them all and read them at that meeting.
Okay, I'm staying out of your blood circle.
I said I already got COVID from Dorothy earlier,
Okay.
so.
Okay. So to be returned, you have adequate publishing time and you can pick your return date to get it for us for the month.
Looks like it.
Yep,
Okay,
and I will put that on the 30th or 29th agenda.
so those in favor of said motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Question, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
do we need to give Jennifer direction as to where to post it?
Can I tell you what I did with the trash? With the trash and the count and the, and the committee members, I did a legal or a public notice I published in the Sentinel. That was what for 2022 you had decided as your paper of record. I then prepared press releases and sent it to all of the other press places that I normally do. So that would be KLZR, the Valley Beat, that would also be the Tribune, and then I send it to the 2 towns. So then if they want to post those things, they can, and it's as a press release.
And our website.
And yeah, and I send it to Vernon.
It's all the websites. Normal stuff.
Yep, that's what I did. So if you want me to, since this, we're still in 2022. I would just follow that same guide if that is acceptable to you. And then 2023. Once that is decided on how you're gonna, once we get bids in, then you all can direct me on where to put public notices on behalf of the commissioners. Does that sound fair?
And this is a public notice, not a legal notice.
Yeah, this is not a legal,
It's
so
like
it's,
a request for,
it's not a statutory thing, so it doesn't fall under the paper record.
Okay.
So. So
we
yeah,
want
that
it, it's
would
up
be,
to us, we can put it in the
Yeah,
public chief and if we want.
yeah, so I think, what you,
Sure.
where you put it out to all the different, newspapers and KLZR and all that.
But we would like to keep it local, so we'd like to keep it.
Yeah.
It's local.
Do not go to the public chief during the daily. Weekly or
If
the
we didn't,
sheriff.
if we didn't have local company, it'd be different.
Yeah.
I think it's.
So, so I believe what you did was adequate.
Okay, and you want me to do the same for, or do you want me to get bids for public notice?
No,
No,
we don't do that.
we don't
Just
do that.
legal.
There's a,
Perfect, that's what I needed to know.
okay. So. Let me go
Can
back
we quit?
pretty quick. Let me get back to my agenda. Look, and this one doesn't have,
No, but we're not illegal to have that.
I know, I
Okay.
apologize, I did not include the back, which would have
Okay.
included,
so,
But the one in our packet does. Doesn't it?
nope. I
The one
got-
posted on the board have one?
made a mistake and tried to, and did a print for only one page,
Um,
and executive session was on there and. public
So-
comments were.
I will leave this go to, public comment,
Nobody on
nobody online.
I just wanted to let you know I found a cleaning person
All right, thank you.
to handle through December.
Okay, any additional items of business, gentlemen?
No, sir. Just the executive session.
Yes, we have an executive session. So. I would entertain a motion. To go into executive session. And that was for legal advice, Clint.
Yes.
Yeah, I move we go into executive session for legal advice. From our attorney.
Second.
Yeah, a motion to go into executive session for legal advice. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. I will recess this meeting of the Board of
In the executive session.
I will do that then,
You
so
need to attend.
I will bring it back out of recess. And those present will be myself, Commissioner Kanda, Commissioner Flower, Attorney Clint Smith, HR Finance Director Graydon Wilson, Clerk to the Board Kelly Camper, and do we have the admin in here as well, or no?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay, and Administrative Assistant Jennifer Cree. I will now recess us and go into executive session.
And we're still live streaming.
She turned on.
Should be right back.
With permission, sir.
Yes, feel free to take a break before we go into executive session.
Yep, I will get ready to.
Remember when you're ready?
Thumbs up.
Good. Okay. The time is now 2:51 PM and the executive session has been concluded. The participants in the executive session were myself, Kevin Day, Commissioner Tom Flower, Commissioner Bill Kanda, Attorney Clint Smith, HR Finance, Braden Wilson, Clerk to the Board, Kelly Camper, and Administrative Assistant Jennifer Cree. For the record, if any person who participated in the executive session believes that any substantial discussion of any matters not included in the motion to go into executive session occurred during the executive session, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I would ask that you state your concerns for the record now. If not, I would ask for your statement, Clint.
This is Clint Smith, County Attorney. I asked for the executive session for the purpose of informing the Board of County Commissioners of a legal issue that's arisen and to discuss, give my advice as to how it should be handled at this point in time. The discussion stayed on topic at all times. No decisions were made, and I am not asking them to make any decision now that they've come out of the executive session. This was just for information only at this point.
Thank you, sir. Any other items of business?
None that except to remind us all of the confidentiality and the importance of that pertaining to this deal.
Okay,
I have two questions for Kelly and Jennifer, but this is not part of the meeting. Did you get my email about the letter to the coast?
Back in
so
session.
we are back in session.
Okay. Why don't we just adjourn and I can ask them?
Okay, so I'm hearing no other items of business.
Oh, hold on a second.
I couldn't hear anything on them.
And we're
She might have been muted, so we may have to do that
I'm
again.
not muted. But you're hearing me.
I guess it's sorry that they're.
Huh?
Is it showed on the app?
The owl's got his little eyes on him. But that
Okay,
isn't anything.
we're still recorded though, correct? So we're, okay, that's just, hearing no other new items of business. I will adjourn this meeting at 2:54 PM. Thank you all.
And for the good of the order,